Hello, hello, everybody. I'm here to talk about Last Night in Solo, a Star Wars story.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
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 Hello, Adam Ryan Donaldo.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
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 Hello, hello, welcome back. I am here to talk about Last Night in Soho. There were 3 movies that came out this week: French Dispatch, Antlers, and Last Night in Soho. I was able to see the other 2 early. This one I had to wait till the weekend to go watch, but I was so excited to watch it because it was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors of all time. This guy does not miss. I own every single one of his movies. Obviously, he did the Cornetto trilogy, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Each one is a different flavor, as in it's a different genre. We got a horror movie, we got an action, and we have a science fiction. They're all great. The only one I was able to see in theaters is my favorite one, which is World's End. Then he took a slight detour before The World's End to do Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I was able to catch this in Dolby earlier this year. That was really great. Just like the other 3, a perfect movie in every way. All-time great. Top 5 of the year. His most recent movie is Baby Driver. This was shot in Atlanta. It's centered around a whole bunch of music. It's a heist movie. Ansel Elgort's great in it. Lily James is one of my favorite actresses. Mamma mia, here we go again, baby. Also, a perfect movie. I would say it's the least perfect of Edgar Wright's movies. I don't think the ending resonates with me as much as the endings of the other movies do. They're all very similar, even though they're all different in genre and some are different in cast and stuff. They all are very fun, they're quippy, they're high concept genre movies, and they're all a really great time. When Last Night in Soho was announced, especially when Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, 2 of my favorite actresses working today. Thomasin McKenzie, we just had her in M. Night Shyamalan's Old. She was in Jojo Rabbit, which was my favorite movie of 2019. Anya Taylor-Joy was in Glass and Split. I think Split was my 3rd favorite of 2017. I'm not sure about that. Actually, I think Get Out was probably higher. Today I would put Get Out higher. But I'm an M. Night nut, so that's me. Last Night in Soho was one of my most anticipated movies of 2020 until it got delayed until 2021. It became one of my most anticipated movies of this year, and I didn't really know too much about what it was about. When I first saw the trailer for it, if I'm being honest, I was a little underwhelmed. I was a little like, oh, this is kind of weird. I don't really know what he's going for. Leading up to the movie, I hear, oh, it's very much so a horror movie. I watched it and I was really underwhelmed. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I didn't even really like it all that much. Basically, Thomasin McKenzie's character, she moves to the big city. She lived with her grandmother, and that's how she got all this influence of the 60s music, the vibe and the aesthetic, all this nostalgia. And she sees visions of her mom who passed away because she killed herself because she had mental health problems. And so now she sees the ghost of her mom everywhere. So she moves to the big city. Her roommate sucks. She's the worst. Honestly, they do a great job of expressing how awful and terrible her roommate is. But yeah, she shares a dorm with her and it's terrible. They go out, everyone's making fun of her. She doesn't really fit in. She's wearing her own clothes that she made and everyone thinks that's tacky for some reason. She eventually moves out into her own apartment that is run by this old lady. Her first night sleeping there, she has a dream. It's almost like a vision where she looks in the mirror and she sees this old 60s woman in this pink dress and her hair all done up and it's blonde. She watches her have this night where she's this really confident girl and she thinks she's going to be a singer in these nightclubs, and she sees Matt Smith. She forms a relationship with him. He is going to take her to the top, baby. As Thomasin McKenzie explores this world, she kind of gets lost in it. Horror ensues. Yes, this is very much so a horror movie, even though I didn't really feel like it was very scary at all. There's no images from this movie that I feel like are really going to stick with me. I think it's more of a B movie. This is my hottest take. I actually saw a tweet about it today and I was like, man, I thought of that when I first saw it. This feels a lot like Malignant in that it's kind of a cheesier horror movie and it kind of understands that. That being said, I think the Malignant is the good version of this movie, whereas in Malignant, spoilers, by the way, these are all spoiler reviews. So spoilers, but at the end of the movie, twist ending, the landlady of her apartment turns out to be the woman from the 60s that she's having visions of. She was, yes, being used by these men, but she would also kill them. So the murder that she's trying to solve is not the murder of this 60s woman, it's the murder of all the men that ever courted her, is a nice word for saying it. The movie kind of gets off the rails at this point, whereas in Malignant, it's good until you get up to the twist, and now it's great, and the rest of the movie's awesome. This is the exact opposite, where the movie's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm into it. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, and then the twist happens, and I'm like, oh, I'm entirely uninvested in this movie from here on out. This is so tonally inconsistent. From a storytelling perspective, this is so unsatisfying. The movie completely goes off the rails at that part. I know I'm going to say a lot of bad things about this movie, because I really don't like it, but let me get this out of the way first. It is technically really well done. The movie looks beautiful. The performances are great. The editing is spectacular. The soundtrack is great. Visually, it's a masterpiece. I just didn't care about the story or characters very much at all. We established from the beginning that Thomasin McKenzie's character, her family has a history of mental illness, so much so that her mother killed herself. She's having a problem where she sees visions of her mother who killed herself. So my first thought is, why aren't you getting help for any of this? Like, this is a very clearly something that you should be getting professional help for. So when she goes to school, these problems get worse. And now she's seeing other things, and it's driving her insane. It's ruining her entire life. It's ruining her friendships, her relationship, her job, her school, her own sleep. She can't go to sleep at night. Why she doesn't seek mental help is a little frustrating, because I don't care about anything that's happening, because she's trying to solve this whole case. And I'm like, I don't care about the case. It took place 60 years ago. The murderer is probably dead at this point. Why do you care? Why are you so invested in this woman? Like, I get it, you really wanted to be this woman. This happened forever ago and had nothing to do with you. I get it, she's enamored with Anya Taylor-Joy and the dress and the hair and everything, and she becomes obsessed, and I get it, but I am not her. And yes, I feel for her, because, she's a nice girl. She's going and following her dreams. She's trying her best. Everyone's being mean to her for no reason. But at the end of the day, I don't care about the plot in any way, shape, or form, because I know that none of it makes sense. None of it's real. None of it matters. So at the end of the movie, when the twist turns out to be a whole thing and she's actually uncovering the murder, I'm like, okay. So, like, why? This is all so far and away gone. Like, even the old lady is a completely different person now than she used to be. I mean, until she goes off the wall crazy. It gets so cheesy in such a frustrating way. I did a review with a buddy where we talked about Antlers and then Soho. It kind of put things in perspective, because I gave both 3 out of 5. Yeah. This movie, Last Night in Soho, 3 out of 5 stars for me. I would say it's significantly better than Antlers. So which made me think, if this wasn't an Edgar Wright movie, would I like it more? And I think that's true. I probably would. I probably have higher expectations for it, because all of these are perfect movies. Every single movie he's done is perfect in every way, shape, and form. So to see this movie that I do think is flawed is frustrating. It's not flawed in the Scott Pilgrim way, where it's like, well, Scott Pilgrim's kind of an ass. I don't like that he succeeds in the end, because he's a douchebag. He's playing everybody, and he's completely selfish and a jerk, and also a little bit creepy and weird. But at least I was invested and I cared. I don't know. I just found myself being like, wow, I increasingly don't like this. My editor said, oh, I hated it. And I was like, there's no way that it could be that bad. But everyone else that I've talked to loves it. They adore it. Pratesh watched it, loved it. Everyone that comes out of the theater is usually very happy about it, and I really don't get it. I give it a 3 because I give it the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to give it a 2 out of 5, but I know this is the type of thing that, like, if I rewatched it, I'd probably appreciate it a little bit more. Knowing what I'm going into, I would set my expectations up for this movie and not for the mystery box that was Last Night in Soho before I saw it, because I really didn't know much about the movie. Someone said it was about fashion, and I was like, it's about fashion? I didn't know that. I just know that she sees Anya Taylor-Joy in the mirror. And Matt Smith looks like an old 60s, slick guy. And that's really all I knew about it. I didn't know anything. I'm sure this is my own problem, that my expectations were so high for this movie, because I genuinely think that there is a large gap between Soho and these 5 movies. a large, large, large gap. It's not even close. Like I said, I think if someone else would have made it, if I rewatch it, I am definitely going to enjoy it more. It has, I think, about an average of a 4-star on Letterboxd, and I think that's pretty accurate. I would be surprised if I didn't watch it again and be like, well, it is technically great. And while I didn't appreciate a lot of things that were done with the story, I still think it's good in this way. I didn't even like what they was trying to say, because I'm just sad the whole movie. I'm just entirely sad because it's sad watching this girl get abused. It's sad watching Thomasin McKenzie just ruin her life, obsessing over something that happened 60 years ago that has nothing to do with her. My favorite thing that I read about this was a Letterboxd review where it said, what if you became obsessed with nostalgia and it tried to kill you? Which I do like that. That's good. I enjoy that. The last shot of the movie where she still sees Anya Taylor-Joy in the mirror, great. So at the end of the movie, it's revealed that she was murdering these guys. I don't know if it was before or after they used her, but regardless, she's murdering them. So before this, obviously, I feel she's completely innocent, so I feel bad for her, and I hate these guys. Then after this twist, I'm like, oh, so you're a murderer, so now I don't like you. Like, yes, it's wrong that they're abusing and using you. Yes, that is wrong. But it's also wrong to murder people. And then they kind of play that up where you should kind of feel bad for these guys, and they're like trying to help Thomasin McKenzie at the end, and I'm like, okay, I don't like them either. They're a bunch of creepy old dudes. I don't feel for them. I don't feel for Anya Taylor-Joy anymore. And especially not, I think it's Diana Riggs. I don't feel for her because I don't know or care much about this character. It's less scary than it is sad. It's like, that's the number one feeling. There's not a lot of jokes. It's not funny. It's not quippy in that fun Edgar Wright way. I'm happy for him that he got to make this movie because there's clearly a lot of passion in this and it's very good in a lot of ways. There's a lot of value here. I would recommend this to most people. I think most people would like this more than I did. I know most people like this more than I did. For me personally, this is a really big letdown. It's a 3 out of 5 for now. I'm sure I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray. If you want to see a great B movie, go watch Malignant. That is a much better version of this. I heard comparisons between Soho and Promising Young Woman, which is my favorite movie of 2020, and that had like dark comedic element to it because it's depressing. It's depressing watching this girl have her dreams thrown away and get completely abused by these creepy old men. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks watching this movie. I'm not scared. I don't care about the story or characters. There's nothing funny in it. It looks beautiful. It looks great. It's really well done. The music is really good. For me, big letdown. Big letdown. 3 out of 5. Check it out. This is probably the review that I've been the most upset in. Well, thank you guys so much for putting up with me. Oh, actually, you want to see me be more upset? Catch me in a week from now when I watch and review Eternals, which is so far the lowest rated Marvel movie, which is surprising because I'm pretty sure that's Incredible Hulk. I know a lot of people don't like Thor: The Dark World. Ant-Man the Wasp isn't too hot. Apparently it's really bad, which I don't believe because Chloe Zhao is great. I don't like Marvel these days, and I still am like, yeah, but it's still Chloe Zhao. Like, yes, they make cookie cutter movies, but they can't snuff out a great director. Peyton Reed makes whatever Marvel movies. You know what I mean? But Peyton Reed's a whatever director. Taika made an above the line Marvel movie. I have a lot of faith in the Eternals still, if I'm being honest. Check me out then. Thank you guys so much. Let me know how wrong and stupid I am for not liking Last Night in Soho. What are your rankings of these 5 perfect movies, and Soho included? Because right now for me, and this changes all the time, because like I said, these are perfect. I would say that firmly at the 5 is Baby Driver, just because I don't think the third act resonates with me as well as the first 2 acts do. Like, the opening of that movie is perfect. It gets you right from the jump. I like his British movies more, which is funny because Soho's in London, but for some reason I didn't vibe with it. I wish he would pair up with Simon Pegg again and more often. My personal favorite: The World's End, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead, then Baby Driver, followed by ... Soho. Let me know how wrong I am. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and go to the movies. There's so many good movies out. What are you doing right now? Go! I didn't see the Sparks Brothers documentary, but that wouldn't count anyways. It's not a narrative feature. It's more of a documentary, I think. I don't know. I didn't see it. That's super, you know, it's one of those like final scares, and not the like a pause kind of like jump scare. It's more like, oh man, like this is always going to be a little part of it. You're never going to fully get rid of this part of your life, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray. I know that, right? I own all of his other movies, so I buy every movie.